Yo guys, it's Matty Talks here, and today we're talking about acid. So the first time I dropped acid, I was 16 years old, and it was me and my boy, who I still lived up in Vermont, and I was a young bloomer, I guess. I don't know if I was or not, but everyone else had done acid around me but my friend, and I'm just like, I guess it's my time to do it. So we text my boy at like, I don't know, 4 in the afternoon, and we're just like, you got any tabs for sale? And he's like, yeah, how many you need? And I'm just like, 2. So we ended up getting it later, let's say around like probably 7 o'clock, 7:30. And we dosed at around 8:39. By 9:15, we were like kind of feeling it. We didn't know if we felt it or not. Like, my stomach got upset and stuff. I don't know if that ever happens to you guys when you trip. Like, your stomach gets all messed up and you get chills and stuff like that. That's how I know the acid's hitting for me. So, it's probably, so like, we take a mole, and if you don't know what a mole is, it's tobacco and weed and a bong, and you snap it through. Now, I've heard them been called everything: mokes, snaps, grasshoppers, moles. We just call them moles. And all of a sudden, we both take that mole, and we're like, just fucking geeked. And I remember we watched this video on growing weed, and some guy kept going. He kept going. And we thought it was the funniest thing. We sat there for an hour. I'm not even lying, an hour. Just replaying this little. Oh, it was ridiculous. Best trip I think I ever had, because all the other ones were shitty as hell. And then he had this tapestry, right? And it had like some old, I don't know, like, I think it was like, I don't know, some old dude walking downstairs with a cane and stuff. And this guy was walking down the stairs. We were like, oh. Yeah, we were messed up. And then we both took a couple more moles, and we laid in bed for a while, and we were just sitting there, just tripping our nuts. And I remember we were both like on like the same trip loop. If you've ever like tripped with your friends and like you guys are talking gibberish but you understand each other, that's how we were. We were gone. We were watching mountains grow on the ceiling and stuff like that. Like, we were tripping hard. And then, now, the second time I tripped on acid, this time was better. It was me and my girlfriend, and we were at this hippie jam called Jerry Jam. And we got a hold of some fire acid, and I remember sitting in a tent area. We both ate a couple tabs, and next thing I know, we're walking out of the tent area because it's like hitting us. I had that feeling in my stomach again, just like that not feeling. I don't know, it's weird. And so we start walking out, and all of a sudden the music just hits me, and the field just starts rolling like that, just like waves. And I was seeing in fisheye. It was insane. So we ended up sitting on this hill, and they were playing Bob Marley, and we were sitting on this hill, and you could see the tree line, and the trees were the Grateful Dead bears dancing along to the music. It was insane. So we sit there for like a couple hours just listening to music, watching the sky just turn different colors and everything like that. And so I'm like tripping hard at this point, and my girlfriend's like, "You want to go on a walk?" I'm like, "Sure." So we're walking around, and I remember we were with some friends, and my girlfriend, she kept on looking at all the kids and being like, "Look at the gnomes, oh my god, the gnomes." And I'm just like, what is she talking about? But now remembering, the kids looked like gnomes. It was weird. And so we're walking along. One of our friends is wearing this wicked psychedelic dress, and it's just waving in the wind, and it tripped me out so hard. I was like, oh. And then we were crossing this bridge to go back to our tent site, and there was this black dude with like tribal face paint on, and he had this stick with a fake head on it. And I looked over, and this guy has two heads coming out of his body that are twirling, and the face is going like, and I'm just like, ugh. And I ran to my girlfriend. I was so scared. I thought I was having a heart attack. And then the second day, or later that night actually, a band came on at 12 o'clock a.m. That was the main band. It was Pink Talking Fish. And I ended up going to bed at like 11:30. I don't know why I can sleep on acid. A lot of people say they can't, and that I'm a special breed, but I don't know. And my girlfriend said that they were just amazing. Like, I could hear all like the music from my tent and stuff, and my mind's just going haywire, just wicked visuals. And so I go to bed, she comes to bed, and the second day was where it turned bad. So we get this acid from this old hippie dude, and he's like, "Just be careful with that, man." And I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? So what that meant was, when I say I tripped my fucking balls off, you'll understand. We're sitting in the tent, and this acid hit fast. It was like 10 minutes this acid hit. And I'm just fucked up. I'm sitting in the tent just like, I don't know if you guys have ever melted into your seat, but that's what happened. Like, I was just like, just absolutely blasted. So we get up to go for a walk, and we're sitting on that same hill that we watched the trees turn into the Grateful Dead bears. And there are these people walking across the bridge, and they look like ants. You ever see on those like TV shows how like the ants, they like walk in a 90-degree angle, and then the other way they walk? That's what I was seeing. It was so fucked up. And it was just scaring me like wicked bad. I had never had visuals like that. And it wasn't like cartoony, it wasn't like a happy fucking trip. It was like deep down depressive trip. And every time I'd look at my girlfriend, she'd like zoom 50 feet away and just come back. And then zoom 50 feet away and then come back. And she's like, "You need to go on a walk." And I'm just like, I can't even move. So she ends up getting me up, and that's what saved the day, was going for a walk. We're walking, and every person that steps, they step and their feet goes 50 feet up in the air, or their leg does, I should say. It was so weird. It was like giants walking. It was insane. And then we're walking along the back side of the field, and there's this hill, and there was a tent, I don't know, it was a camper, and they had this tapestry up. It was like lightning bolts, and every time I'd look at it, my vision would go. I was like, what the fuck? So we ended up talking to these people. They had gone cross country like 3 times in their VW bus, and it's just this alley that's like this of VW buses. And I was tripping so hard, yo. I was tripping so hard. These people were talking to me, and I was just staring into their eyes. And they'd be like, yo, hello? And I'd be like, huh. And I'd just like walk away. It was insane. So the last time that I dosed, I got some shit from my buddy. It was liquid. And if you don't know liquid is usually like 10 times stronger than 1 tab. It's like 10 tabs in one. My old friend, he was talking to me about it. He's like, yo, you gotta eat some fucking liquid. And I'm just like, alright. So I found liquid. And my buddy dosed us well. Very well. Too well. Way too much. Way too much. Even thinking about it now gives me anxiety. That's how bad this trip was. So, we get to his house. It was me, my girlfriend, and one other person, my buddy up in Vermont. And we get to his house, and he holds up this baggie with 2 gel tabs in it. He's just like, look at this vial. This vial was full of straight acid. And so we ended up getting back down to the car, and we made our way back home. And we were sleeping at my buddy's house that night. So the plan was to eat the acid. It was like 10 o'clock, and acid usually don't last more than, 12, 13 hours. So we were thinking leave, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because we still had to go see my dad in the hospital, and then go drive to Colebrook, stay with our friends for the weekend. So we eat the acid around 10, and around 10:15, my girlfriend and I look at each other and we're like, holy fuck. This wasn't no acid, yo. This was, I don't know if it was a research drug or if it was, I just don't know. This shit was not acid though. So, by, I'd say 10:30, we're already peaking. Like, peaking hard. Like, all of a sudden, the whole room just goes, whoop. And my buddy was laughing at something, and it looked like he was crying. His head was in the shape of a teardrop, and he had these teardrops coming down his face like this big. Like, me. And I'm just like, you need to stop crying. What's wrong? He's like, dude, I'm laughing. I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be a long night. So, next thing I remember, my girlfriend's like sitting with a pillow over her head, like, oh. She's like, babe, this isn't acid. I don't know what it is, but it's not acid. I'm just like, I'm feeling that way too. I'm definitely feeling that way. And just thinking about this gets me all torqued up. Oh, I fucking hate this story. So, ended up turning on some music. Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it. It's the best. And all of a sudden the room just starts waving. Like so bad that I was getting motion sickness. Like I just felt sick to my stomach. My girlfriend said that she was so uncomfortable that if she had a knife, she would have cut off her skin. Like, this is how bad the shit was. So I ended up going into the bedroom, and we tried to get some sleep. She slept a little bit, but I was literally just watching veins crawl on the wall. Like, oh my god. Oh, and then I went piss, right? And I'm looking down at the toilet seat, and there's bugs crawling all over, like centipedes and ants and spiders. I'm just like, scared the shit out of me. So my buddy had this night lamp, this like night light, I should say, and it plugged into the wall. And it was just a single bulb, and it changed colors, like blue, green, red, orange, that type of stuff. And I was literally watching this bulb be a mountain with clouds changing colors going around it. That's how hard I was tripping. And I just tripped that whole night. Let's fast forward to the next day. So the next day, I wake up. Not even really wake up. I didn't really even sleep, maybe 30 minutes. And that's another thing how I knew it wasn't acid. I couldn't sleep on it. Usually when I take acid, I can lay back and just pass out. It's weird. And I wake up and I'm still tripping so fucking hard. And I'm like, what the hell? My girlfriend is like, she's coming down off of it, definitely, but I'm still like pretty much peaking. And so we get on the road and we're driving back to New Hampshire, and I don't even remember the way home, I don't even know how I got home. Like, that's one of those moments now thinking about it, like, I'm glad I'm even alive, honestly. And we get to the hospital to visit my dad because he had some stomach issues going on. He was in the hospital for like a month. And I walk in the hospital, and I just start having the worst trip. Like the walls going, woo, 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 woo. And I'm like, oh my god. So we go home. I get my car, and we head to Colebrook. On the way to Colebrook, I'm just like, why am I still tripping? Like, this isn't good. This is now going on like close to 24 hours. And I'm just like, this is not 24 hours. It was probably like 15 hours by this time. So we head over to Colebrook, and we're getting into Colebrook, and I dead ass watch this hand come pick up the school bus in front of me and plop it down. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, babe, did you just see that? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm just like, someone just picked up that school bus and threw it on the ground. She's like, you need to get to our friend's house now. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. So we get there, and the worst move I could have done was taking a dab. I'm starting to come down off of it. I'm tired, and it's just like going away. I get there, and my buddy greets me with a dab. He's like, hey, come rip this fat dab. And I'm just like, ha, bet. So we get in there, and I rip this fat dab, and I just start tripping all over again. This is 24 hours by now, and I'm just still tripping. So let's fast forward to the next day. So the next day, I wake up. I slept a little bit more that night, but I'm still tripping. And my girlfriend looks at my friend's girlfriend and goes, he still shouldn't be tripping, should he? And she's like, no, not at all. You guys do not get acid. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. Like I'm contemplating life over here. Like, I'm like, when we go home, I should just drive somewhere and jump off a cliff. That would be better for everyone right now. Let's just do it. That's how much of a mind loop I was in. I was like in an ego death. It was bad. It was super bad. And my friend's girlfriend's friend was going through a rough time, and I don't know this fucking story. But she came over crying, and they're listening to some depressing ass movie, like just music, and just so depressing. And I'm sitting there like ripping out my hair. Like, I was tripping so hard still, and this is going on 2 days. It was just ridiculous. Third day rolls around, and I finally, like, came down. I ripped a dab, and I started going again, and then I came down. And I'm like, damn, we gotta go home. So we get headed home, and I'm just not right. Like, that's when my depression really started to hit me. It was like 4 or 5 months ago. That acid made me so emotional and everything. It was just like, every day I was like, why am I living? Why am I living? Why am I living? Like, that acid messed with my brain really bad. And it still does. Like, I'll be driving, or I'll be walking somewhere, or I'll be on my hike, and all my endorphins are going and stuff like that, and I stop somewhere, and I just start tripping hard, just tripping out, like trees going wah, 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 and then it just stops. And I'm like, oh my god, I should have never eaten that acid. But I'm here. I survived. I don't know how, but I did. And make sure you guys check out my sponsor, Greg Melanson Photography. Check him out at www.melansonphoto.com. He's the best. I actually might be doing them for my graduation party, if he's not booked, because this is kind of late notice, so probably not. But you know, he does a lot of events, and he does great pictures. You guys should just check his Facebook out at Greg Melanson, or Melanson Photography. Amazing. Well, guys, thanks for watching my acid video. I hope you guys enjoy it and learn something from acid. That acid is not a healing drug. Like, if you can't find yourself, I guess so. Like, yeah, maybe, kind of, sort of. But if you're going through like a bad time, don't eat acid, because everything bad that's happened in the past is going to come haunt you in that trip. And I'm telling you this just so you don't go haywire like me, because I got to some points where I was like, man, I do not want to be here right now. Like, this is too much to think of, and everything just hits you in the head, and like, you see your thoughts. It's not like just thinking normally. Like, acid is a messed up drug. You gotta have a strong mind in order to do acid, or else you're gonna have a bad time, and I promise you that. But thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be doing my next video on shrooms. Hope you guys like that.